this new overview video for our new library for KONTAKT called VENKATT. VENKATT is a 20 x 4 layers ambient cinematic library. 20 x 4 means we have 4 different types of sound qualities and 20 multi-sample sound sources for each of these sound types. The sound types are, as we see here, attack, which includes sounds with a defined transient, an initial percussive portion of the sound that are very short. Sustain, which includes, say, what comes after the initial percussive sound, the sustaining part of it, the way each sound continues in time. Reverse, which is self-explanatory, they are all reversed sounds of different nature. Lastly, rhythmic, which includes sequentiable sounds that are treated by default with a convolver effect. The sequencer will work only with the sounds from this layer. Now, each type of sound or layer includes 20 sounds, so you can mix and match the way you prefer, like having the attack of let's say a dulcimer, and stick it to a sustain of a piano. Maybe adding a reverse gauzang. While a xylophone sequence is playing through a weird convolution impulse response. But it does not end there. We can load as many sound sources as we want for each of the 4 layers, up to how many your computer can handle. So this is quite unique to this instrument. For VENKATT, we have implemented the randomization feature present in other Audiofier libraries, but this time we added a way to include what will be randomized. When you press the Create button, layer 1 and 2 sounds will be randomized. By pressing these numbers here, you can select how many sounds per layer will be randomized. 1 per layer, 2 per layer, up to 3 per layer, up to 4 per layer. Then you can add other parameters to the randomization by clicking these little R buttons, which are in specific locations in this GUI. So we can include parameters of layer 1 and 2 in the randomization. We can include the convolution type and the amount for layer 1 and 2. We can add layer 3 sounds and parameters. We can add layer 3 convolutions. We can also add layer 4 and its convolution and all the parameters. We can also add the sequencer parameters to the randomization. And finally, the master convolver and all the effects. So when you press create, a new sound is generated. But you can go back to the previously created sound by pressing create undo. You can also reset the instrument to default and bypass all the effects by pressing patch reset here. But you can also create sounds from scratch manually, like in the old days when the randomization was not there yet. So let's go through all the parameters of VENKATT's interface. Here you have volume, pitch, hold and release for layer 1 and 2. The way the volume for layer 1 and 2 works is quite special, as you have only one knob for both layers, but by clicking Shift, you can adjust the layer 2 volume only, or by pressing Alt, both volumes will match. Pitch control is for both layers, while hold controls only layer 1, and it's the length of the transient sound, the very short initial sound. And the release knob works only for layer 2. Then going downwards, we have the convolution type menu and the amount. And we have a lot of impulse responses that can dramatically change the sound. Then below we have layer 3 controls. We have volume of layer 3 only, which is the reversed sounds, the pitch, and then the time knob. The time knob controls the speed of the reverse sound. It's basically the time stretch speed for the sample. Then going to layer 4, we have more controls. Volume for layer 4, pitch, and then octa, which is basically an octave control from -2 to +2 octaves. But it is special because this control sets the random shifting of octaves inside the sequence. So some notes will be randomly pitched by the amount of octaves set with this knob. Then we have the delay knob, and we have the same knob also for layer 3. These two delay effects are unique for layer 3 and layer 4. There is only the amount of the effect, but no other parameters are available for these specific delay effects. Then we have a convolver for layer 4 with different impulse responses that are tuned specifically for using it with a sequencer. The dry-in knob is quite a special one, because we'll mix in a bit of the dry signal to get more attack in certain situations. The HP knob is the amount of high-pass filter to tame some low frequencies in some impulse responses that might be too much. Then here we have a 16-step sequencer. It's a basic sequencer with usual controls of number of steps and the speed of the steps. But these two buttons here, the vary and the loop buttons, make it more interesting. The vary button will add randomly a bit of the dry signal by the amount set by the dry knob. So some steps will be dry and others will be wet. The loop function instead will make the sequence loop until a note is pressed. But when this loop feature is off instead, the sequence will run only once and then stop. This is very useful in sounds where the sequence becomes like an effect or like an echo kind of thing. Then we have the effect section. Bass and treble EQ for layer 1 and 2 only. Drive control for layer 1, but also in a small quantity for layer 2. Then the chorus for layer 1 and 2, a stereo widener for the whole instrument, a rotor effect for layer 2 and 3 only, and then a delay amount, speed and feedback for layer 1 and 2 only. Lastly, we have a reverb convolution effect for the whole instrument, with impulse responses that are mainly reverb types. All in all, this is for us the simplest interface we have developed so far, with no hidden pages or menus, so it should be very easy from the start to enjoy it and be creative with it. We also include a few snapshots in different categories. The simple patches only use layer 1 and 2 and 3 and don't make use of convolvers, other than the master reverb convolver. The convoluted patches are different presets that make use of the convolvers. The patches with sequence use layer 1, 2 and 3, no convolvers, but use layer 4 sequence capabilities. And the complex category uses all features and layers of VENKATT. We also included the demo patches, which are custom patches we made for the teaser trailer of VENKATT, so if you like those sounds, you know where they are. And these are not included in the other 4 snapshots folders. So that's it for this video. If you want to hear more sounds, we have a snapshot showcase video available which goes for almost half an hour, showing a few of the 200 plus available snapshots. So thanks for watching, have a great day, bye!